Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, the Aspie Life of Lisa. In today's Aspie Life video, we're going to talk about how I handle the holidays being on the spectrum. If you like this video, feel free to hit the like button, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. So as everybody knows, the holidays are coming up, especially Christmas. Of course, Christmas, yeah. And I tend to find Christmas to be quite overwhelming because I visit my dad's side of the family, then my mom's side of the family, then I have Christmas with my mom and my brother. So I get a total of three Christmases. And for a lot of people on the spectrum, even some neurotypicals too, the Christmas holidays can be quite overwhelming, especially when there's a lot of traveling to do. For me, I can stay here for the first Christmas, and then the other parts, it's traveling to either Toronto, then Mississauga, and I find it to be, for me, quite overwhelming. So, throughout the years, I've had different coping strategies on how to conquer the Christmas holidays. So, number one, I always find out what the plan is and what's going on for that day, and I find out the time that I have to be there at. This way, I have time to be by myself, the travel time, and I bring something to do while I'm in the car and while I'm processing what it's going to be like being there, and that I make sure I have the spoons to go. Number two, before I go there, I like to go for a walk, and I do this every time I go to a family function. That way, I've just traveled, I've had a long drive, and that way I have time to be fully charged. And that way my battery's not on a medium and I'm not on a battery low. That way, if I go for a walk, I'm able to just feel calm when I go in there, when I go to see either my whole family and everything. So that's one of the ways that I've learned over the years how to conquer the holidays. Three is I'm not afraid to set boundaries. Like, I don't like when people swarm me right away. For me, if I go to a family function, I'll go to the safe room right away, put things there. I don't mind saying hi to somebody, but I don't like when their energy's super, super high, because for me, I find that extremely overwhelming. I like to go in, I like to go to the safe room, and I like to slowly make my rounds to see everybody. I don't like to be overwhelmed. I find it's just I find it's just too much. So one of the ways that I've coped with the holidays was setting those boundaries with my family and just explaining that to them. Granted, it took years to for them to understand, and there are some people that don't quite understand, but one day I hope they'll get there. And if they don't like it, well, that's one of my own personal boundaries that I have. Number five is whenever I need a break, I always make sure that there's a room that I can go to when needed, just a quiet room. And not just that, I can also go for a walk when I need to go for a walk. And number six, don't set yourself up for a meltdown. One thing with me is if I know something's too much, I'll walk away when needed. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm being antisocial, but I don't want to set myself up for that meltdown. And I don't want to be upset, and I don't want to upset anybody. And I always make sure I'm prepared mentally especially when there's a lot of background noise from from families. Everyone's loud and joyous, which is a great feeling, of course. Sometimes my family can be really overwhelming. I love them, but they're just a bit too much for my likings sometimes. Number 7 is making sure that I have things that are going to calm me, like bringing knitting, bringing something with me that I can do, a book to read, just in case I have to sleep over somewhere. Packing maybe an extra pair of pajamas, an extra pair of clothes, earplugs at night, because I have to sleep with earplugs in at night because I'm a very, very light sleeper. And basically making sure I bring some extra stuff just in case I sleep over. And with presents and stuff, my family, we usually just do a game. We don't do a Secret Santa. We don't do any of that. It's just a game that we play. But I you have a choice, you can partake in it or not. I usually like to, but it just depends how I'm feeling at that moment. Another thing is too, how I found coping with the holidays is making my rounds a little at a time. Don't force yourself in a situation where you're going to be uncomfortable, and take things in at your own pace. I have to take things in at my own pace. And if somebody in the family does make you uncomfortable, don't be afraid to stand up and say something. That's something I've had to learn to do over the years. And if they truly care, they'll respect your wishes. I hope this video helps for anyone that's on the spectrum. And I wish everybody all the best conquering the holidays. Feel free to hit the like button, comment below, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any other tips or tricks on how you've conquered the holidays throughout the years, feel free to share those. Peace and blessings, everybody.